Dear devotees, this is Satsvarupa das Goswami. I want to make my contribution with an eulogy to Lila Avatar Dasi on the occasion of her memorial service at the Philadelphia Temple. Lila Avatar was one of my most dearmost disciples. I'm a little embarrassed to say this because it's so personal, but she loved me very much. There was nothing mundane or sexual in her attraction to me. It was all completely pure and spiritual as disciple and guru. I'll tell you more about her love for me, but first I want to tell you about the beginning of our relationship. When I first initiated her, she was unsure of her relationship with me. She demanded many personal meetings in which we discussed this. She wanted to know if I recognized her, if I appreciated her service, and if I cared for her. I impressed upon her that I cared for all my disciples and that I certainly cared for her and appreciated the sacrifice she was making by distributing books at the airport. It took a number of meetings for me to develop a personal relationship with her and to get through to her that I really cared for her. But once she got the realization, it was solid. After she got the realization, she didn't need a lot of vapu personal attention. She used to tell me later that she didn't understand about separation because she never felt separate from me. All she had to do was think of me, and I was right there with her. Theoretically, she couldn't understand the separation of the gopis from Krishna, or the separation of the disciple from Prabhupada, because she said she never felt separation from me. I was always with her. So you all know about her heyday in the Philadelphia airport. She was the queen of the book distributors there. She out-distributed everyone. She had been in the army previously, and so she knew the mentality of soldiers passing through the airport on their way back from basic training. They were conditioned and used to taking orders. She used to shout to them from a distance, "Hey soldier, get over here!" And they would submissively come to where she was standing. It would not be uncommon for her to have several soldiers standing around her, opening their wallets to take a book from her. She commanded If I were writing, I would put that in italics. She commanded them to take books, like a drill sergeant, and they took them. I think she probably had a high percentage of people who read the books too. She was temperamental and even eccentric. When we had Christmas marathons, we asked the devotees to come when the marathon was over and bring their Lakshmi and tell how much they had made. Lila Avatar refused to come down to the temple room. She was playing prima donna. I had to personally ask her to come down into the temple room, and she did so. And when she came and announced her scores, it was the highest. So for many years she reigned as the queen of the Philadelphia airport and boldly distributed Prabhupada's books. As she grew older and sicker, this was after quite a while in her career, she was not able to go out anymore on a regular basis. Vishnu Aradhanam deserves a lot of credit in taking care of her in her prolonged illness. He is a great saint. He sacrificed everything to become her caretaker and served her 24/7. The doctors wanted to put her in a nursing home, but she said she wanted Vishnu to take care of her at home, and he was willing to do so. She said he sometimes got fried, but he always overcame it and continued his service with love. She was very indebted to him. So on this memorial occasion, we should all offer our obeisances to Vishnu Aradhanam and thank him very much for taking care of Lila Avatar. He is no doubt going through a period of grieving, but I spoke with him and I know he has already recovered somewhat and is ready to take a new direction in his life, freed from the burden of having to take care of her all the time. Lila Avatar and Vishnu used to phone me frequently. They were the only disciples who phoned me on every Vaishnav holiday and wished me well and wanted to celebrate the occasion with me, at least in a brief phone call. They always used to ask me, "Is there anything you need?" They did not have much money, but they supplied me with legal pads which I write on, with drawing notepads which I draw my Sankirtan figures on, and with pilot pens which I write on. They also made sizable donations for other things that I use. I don't know how they afforded it on their meager budget, but I very much appreciated their support. So as I say, Lila Avatar loved me very much. I talked to her up to near the very end of her life, and I could understand she was on a high level of Krishna consciousness, even in her illness. She told me she used to talk to the hospital staff about Krishna. She was not shy about that. They all knew her as Lila Avatar, the Krishna conscious devotee. In her later years, when she couldn't go out to the airport and distribute Prabhupada's books, she used to go to festivals like Rath Yatras and distribute my books. She took great pleasure in this and liked to tell me Sankirtan stories. Would you like to hear a Sankirtan story, Guru Maharaj? She would say, and then tell me some funny or strange story of what happened on Sankirtan. Some of the stories were incredible because of her personality and her way of dealing with people. She got weaker and weaker. She told me that she was going to attend the July 4th family reunion meeting in New York if she had to crawl to get there. But her condition didn't allow it. On July 4th, she was in the hospital in her last phase. I will miss Lila Avatar very much, and I will always remember her. Sometimes she used to sing gospel songs to me, which she was fond of. She asked me if it was all right for her to sing them, and I says it was because they were religious. But she was an undiluted devotee of Prabhupada and Krishna and her own Guru Maharaj. She cared for her mother very much and took care of her. She took her mother into her house to live in her last years and took care of her. She was very sad when her mother passed away. I knew her mother. She was quite a character also. She used to do a little dance at our kirtans and come to our festivals. She was very affectionate to me. So I have deep feelings for Lila Avatar, and I'm sorry I won't hear from her anymore on a regular basis. She had a picture of me in the hospital, along with a picture of Lord Chaitanya. I'm sure she wants to join me in the spiritual world and join with Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. And I'm certain she's reached a higher destination. She was a holy person, very spiritual and very religious. I was sad that she had to leave, but as Vishnu told me, she had been suffering with pain for a long time and taking strong painkillers which had bad effects on her body. So it was a release from suffering that she was finally able to leave her body and go back to Godhead. All glories to Lila Avatar, Devi, Dasi. Thank you very much.